I mean, wicked can just be more than just a word, a descriptor word. Like it can be an
An
actual
adjective.
noun.
You,
Barding. Ah.
these
I don't know
things.
any of these things besides
How
Bree's
do you
hockey
how do you
journey.
We got our first hater the other day.
shout out to my dad?
That made me mad. Now I'm triggered.
Oh, and god damn it! What a pro wants. What a pro wants. Welcome to episode 70 of the Bread Loves Hockey podcast. Nailed it. We've got Ryan joining us once again and on another multiple of 10, which I didn't really plan on, but worked out pretty good.
Yep,
So,
yep. I'm the guest tonight. Filling in.
Yes. We had another guest lined up who unfortunately was unable to attend last minute. So luckily, our good friend Ryan was available on short
Always.
notice. Always, whenever you need me, most of the time I'm here. We appreciate that. And what's going on? I don't know.
Well, we don't have a ton because we got a weird schedule this week. We're recording on a Monday.
And we just recorded Wednesday last week, so
Yeah, so I also don't know if we're gonna release this on wait till Sunday because then we're waiting a week and that might be weird. So maybe we'll release this on like Thanksgiving Day or something. Who knows? Anything can happen, I guess. Um, but yeah, not a ton of news. We can start with this massive trade that went down earlier. Was that today? No, yeah, today.
yeah, today.
Um, the Penguins acquired forward Philip Tomasino from the Nashville Predators in exchange for a 2027 fourth-round pick. Tomasino is signed through the 24-25 season and carries an AAV of 825,000 at the NHL level. Brendan, why did this happen?
It's kind of a strange trade, isn't it? I mean, I think it makes sense for the Penguins because they need something to happen. They acquire an actual like a young player, 23. Like they don't have any 23-year-olds basically unless they're calling up guys from Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, you know. Like their team is just so old. So that's good. I think he's a former first round pick of Nashville. I think 24th overall. I want to say.
That's correct.
In 2019. So.
Also correct.
Well, I did look at it before, so I just had to make sure I was remembering it from like 3 minutes ago. But yeah, he's like had some good flashes, and I feel like just based on some of the reactions I saw from other Predators fans, this has kind of been a pattern with the team and how they develop these like first round draft picks. They're young guys. They kind of punish them a little bit too much for their mistakes. They kind of like crush them into making sure they immediately fit in like the defensive scheme of Nashville, which has like always been a big part of their game.
And as a center, I imagine it was even more so for him.
Oh yeah.
If you're not defensively responsible, you're not playing.
Yeah, and that's going to be really like difficult for like a very offensive minded player, which I don't know if like how much he is, if he feels he's more of a two-way center or what. But I feel like if he is like known, at least he was known when he was drafted as somebody who puts the puck in the net. Maybe he's not super strong defensively, but like if he's playing tough minutes, he's like constantly having to back check, especially with this year's team. I mean, they probably don't have the puck 2/3 of the time. You know, that's going to be like really difficult. Even Connor Bedard is struggling this year in a similar fashion, I've heard, because like the Blackhawks are just pushing like defense first, and he can play defense, but obviously that's not really what he's known for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking at Tomasino's stats. 159 games in the NHL, 71 points, which is like respectable. And his first year, he was playing about 11 and a half minutes a game. His second year, 15 and a half. And then 23-24 season, 12 and a half. And then so far this year, he's averaging like 11. So he's like, his time on ice has been going down again. But again, I don't know if it's based off his skill or how the team's utilizing him. But at the age, once you're like 23, it's tough to kind of develop more. But maybe on a new team, he can be more ice time and maybe still break out as a player. But like you said, we'll see because the Nashville fans seem like there might be something there. So like you said, weird trade, very weird.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be pretty happy as a Penguins fan with that. Like, you didn't pay anything.
Fourth round
A
pick.
2027 fourth rounder, like, that kid's in what, middle school right now or whatever? High school? Like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
like,
not a
definitely a win for
big
the
deal.
Penguins, and I don't know what Nashville is doing because again, they got all these guys in the off season. It's like they're not going to rebuild, even though that is what Trotz kind of said,
Threatened, yeah, like, we don't start picking
but
it up.
kind of didn't say. But like you would think they'd be buyers, not sellers. So
And you'd think this wouldn't be like the first piece to go either. One of your young guys who still has like a chance to break through. Maybe they just felt like they needed to move on because he wasn't like fitting with their scheme or what. But I feel like that's not the first guy that I. Maybe it's because he's a UFA too. Next, like this summer, that makes things easier
yeah,
to trade him.
I mean, there's also the thing like Elliot Friedman was reporting that after the Rangers lost 6-2 to Edmonton, how it's kind of they're looking at making trades, and there's
Yeah.
the thing that coaches do where they'll be like, maybe we trade a star player, kind of send a message saying no one's safe in this locker room if we're not playing well, like we might make a shift. But when you're trading a 23-year-old who has 150 games in the league, it's like
What's that gonna do?
that's not going to send a message. So I don't, yeah, again, I don't know what the thought process was, but we don't have
Yeah.
a lot to
I
talk
don't.
about, so we'll just spend 10 minutes talking about the Tomasino trade, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, and I feel like the Preds have been scrutinized, especially Barry Trotz, with how they've dealt with these like first round picks that just like they haven't worked out. He didn't do that trade, the Cody Glass trade, the 3-way deal with Vegas and the Flyers, but he didn't pan out with them. He wasn't working in Vegas either, but yeah, he's now on the Penguins too. So I guess that's kind of fun. And yeah, the Askarov situation. I mean,
Oh
they
yeah.
did get value out of him there, but he's not on the team anymore. And he did just recently play for San Jose this season, so they called him up. So
Yeah, I
we'll
mean
see how
that
that
one's
works
tough.
out.
I know what it's like
A
to be
little
a
different.
franchise with two good goalies and you can't keep them both.
Yeah, no, that one's a little bit of a different situation.
Like they got what they could, because I mean you got. I think they made the right choice, like signing Saros, but
Yeah,
like you take the proven guy over the up and comer, but it's still like Askarov could have a higher potential, but you don't know and you don't want to take that risk. So sign what you got.
yeah, I think so.
Sandroni, did you hear about Jim Montgomery getting fired, the
No,
Bruins
I
coach?
didn't.
So the Bruins had a tumultuous start of the season. They've been, well, tumultuous for a big market team. They're still around 500, but they fired their coach, and then now days later, the Blues fired their coach. What's Bannister's first name?
Drew.
Drew Bannister. That's it. Fired him, hired Jim Montgomery. Um, and Friedman was talking about how this might have also happened in the off season because the Blues were kind of interested. I think they didn't have a coach in the off season, right? They were supposedly waiting to see if the Bruins lost in the first round because then Montgomery might have been fired then.
Mm,
So
yeah, I think he
when
was
They
that
were
still.
didn't
just
happen, Monty stayed around, and then I think that's when the Blues hired Drew Bannister.
they were just ready to poach him.
Yeah, because like it was a really quick turnaround. Normally, I mean, once
Mm.
the coach gets fired, it's not days later where they get scooped up. Even the coach as good as Montgomery. So it seems like there had been prior talks.
Yeah, it sounds like
So
this was like the third quickest hiring between playing games again, or like between getting fired and then coaching your next game. So yeah, pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I think Bannister was the interim head coach after they fired Berube, and then they kind of just decided after they didn't get Montgomery, obviously, that they were just gonna stick with him for one more year. So, but I don't think he was ever meant to be like the next big coach unless he like way overachieved. Like I feel like he was kind of just always gonna be a stopgap until they hired a Montgomery, which they don't come around very often.
Yeah. See if he goes on to now win a cup like Cassidy did.
Yeah. I
Of
feel
all
like
the teams, I was like, why
less
did it have to be
likely.
the Blues?
Yeah. I guess
Well,
you
and
specifically,
Claude Julien went to the Canadians after being fired in Boston. So
and
it's not the first
he's with the
time.
Blues too. Did
Is he
you?
with the Blues now?
Yeah, he
Is
is.
he, was he assistant coach?
He's an assistant with the Blues. Yeah.
I know where he ended up. I know he wasn't in Montreal anymore.
Yeah. So, a couple former ex Bruins, Jack
Maybe
Adams winning head coaches.
you can send Cassidy there too.
No, we still like him. Maybe they'll come
I
together
don't
again
know.
at some
Your
point.
franchise has a short leash on players and coaches and management. Who knows? Couple losses in a row.
Yeah, I mean this would be about the time of year, like or the time where the cycle would start to repeat. I think because Gallant was there for like 2.5 seasons, and then DeBoer was there for like 2.5, maybe 3.
Yeah, I mean Vegas is top of their division, so they're doing fine. Like, I mean, 667 points percentage.
Losing to the
I mean,
Flyers right now, I'm not too happy about that.
well, can't win them all.
Game's not over yet, but
Yeah, I
no,
guess
I
we can
don't
talk
think
about
there's big concern there.
the standings too, because this is our last one before Thanksgiving, the day when the playoffs are solidified and we can stop watching hockey until April.
Well, theoretically, Dean, I did want to go back into
Hey,
the
the
time
Bruins are
machine.
in,
Oh yeah, they are.
not by points percentage, but by points.
They are in.
We played 3 more games than the Rangers and Tampa. But anyway, go on.
If we go back a year to this date, we're recording on November 25th, Monday. So let's go back to November 25th, 2023-24. 2023, the 2023 season, and see who's in a playoff spot and like who didn't end up making it. So we've got the Bruins leading the Atlantic, and then the Panthers and the Lightning. All 3 of those teams end up making the playoffs. So nothing too crazy there, but it wasn't the same order. For the Met, we've got the Rangers leading the way. They made it. The Flyers in second place. Yeah, they kind of
They
collapsed
had
in the
that
last
hot
month.
start, and then yeah.
And then the Capitals, who did end up qualifying with the wild card 2 spot.
Just
Detroit,
barely.
Detroit and Montreal, or excuse me, Toronto in wild card spots. So Detroit did not end up making it. And then
And that was like the flip flop. Like on the last day, Detroit was out, Washington in, right?
yeah, because of the shenanigans with that final game there in Washington.
And there was like 5 tiebreakers or whatever, except the first 3 are kind of pointless anyway.
Yeah, there's a couple that it's like it doesn't really matter. And then so the Hurricanes and the Islanders were the next 2 teams, so they did end up qualifying for the playoffs, and then all the other teams in the East below that did not make the playoffs. So, pretty much everybody that made it in the East was above the playoff line, minus 2 teams that were just barely in the hunt, and they had 1 point less than the wild card 2 team.
They're saying 6 for 8 on the East.
6 for 8 with the East. And then for the West,
Are you looking at points percentage?
I'm just looking at points. So if they were in the playoffs at the time of that day.
What if? Well, did you have all these stats like already figured out, or can you sort by points percentage?
I have points percentage too. I'm just looking.
'Cause, I
You can
mean-
just go back on the NHL website to the standings, and you can just go back to
Oh.
whatever date.
You sure
So.
can. That's neat.
Yeah, it actually is a good tool.
Good job, NHL. All right, I'm gonna join you back
Oh.
in time
Okay.
on this
Back in
fine Saturday in
Back in
2020.
Saturday. Oh, I wish today was Saturday. But back
The
then,
opposite of Saturday.
yeah, it really is. Although I have days off this week, so I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah.
But for
Right.
the West, we've got in the
Wait,
Central.
wait, wait, wait. Points percentage. We gotta
Oh,
check points
do
percentage.
you want me to sort by points
Actually,
percentage?
I don't think it makes. It actually didn't change anything.
Oh, okay. I mean, I was just looking at the wild card spots.
Well,
So,
Philly and Washington flip flop. Washington was actually ahead of Philly by points percentage.
well, then it even makes more sense that the Flyers
Yeah.
didn't make it.
Okay, so still 6 for 8 in
Still
the
6
East.
for 8. For the West, Central, Colorado leading with 28 points. Winnipeg behind them, 26 points, and Dallas 26 points as well. Same exact record. I don't know what the tiebreaker. Oh, regulation wins with the tiebreaker there. So all those teams qualified for the playoffs. Then in the Pacific, Vegas, 30 points. They make it. Los Angeles in second with 29 points. Vancouver in third in the Pacific with 29 points as well. And they all made that playoffs as well. And then the last two wildcard spots belong to St. Louis and Seattle, who both did not qualify. We've got the Predators in fifth in the wildcard race with only 18 points. So they were 9 and 10, and they ended up making the playoffs as a wildcard 1. And the Oilers, obviously, that terrible start, which is kind of repeating. 6-12 and 1, 13 points, 342 points percentage. So they made it, and they were 8 points out of a playoff spot at that point. So
We're looking at 75%. 12
yeah,
for 16.
yeah,
Two in each.
more or less. Well, yeah,
If you go by
75%.
points percentage in the West, Arizona would have the spot over Seattle, and then
Okay.
Nashville also moves up one spot. So they're not in, but they're at least one spot closer. Edmonton's in the same spot either way.
Okay, yep.
Pretty similar.
So what does this tell us, Sandroni?
It tells us that, yeah,
It
tell us,
tells us that-
Sandroni, who's making.
Well, there's a good odds that Buffalo's going to stay in.
Yeah,
What-
that,
That's
it's telling
true.
me.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
so. I think that's what we were saying.
Yeah, that's all I was hearing.
Womp, 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 Buffalo in the playoff. Womp, womp. Hey, what? Well, did you say something? Yeah, they're not. They're not sitting in a playoff. Oh wait, actually, yes, they are. They are sitting
Yes,
in a
they
playoff spot
are.
right now. Excuse me. Pardon my tongue.
And there were no teams that were in like a non-wild card spot that got kicked out. There's only wild cards that moved, right?
No, the
No,
Flyers were in third.
Flyers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In the same spot as Buffalo, you say?
Third in the Metro, though. Third in the Metro.
Yes, very
Yeah,
different.
they're different count. They're different league division.
The Metro has been like way crazy this year. Like there are so many good teams in the Metro right now. Like the Devils, the Hurricanes, the Capitals, and the Rangers all have more than 25 points, and then the Sabres have 23 in third place. And yeah, it's
mean,
not really close.
I don't know. The top half of the division is good, and then the bottom half is all 500 or worse.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
just
know.
more top heavy. Like
Yeah.
there's not a big spread in the Atlantic, which just makes it a
Yeah,
little
it
more
used to
wide
be
open.
the Atlantic with like Boston, Tampa, Toronto were always up there, and then Florida recently.
Yeah.
And now Buffalo.
Now
Apparently,
Buffalo.
this is news to me. Actually, I did not think that they would be here, but okay.
Or they just spanked the California
548.
teams.
Yeah, they did. They had that 1-0
Yeah.
shutout in LA, which that probably was a terrible game if you were a Kings fan. Sounds pretty awful. And then they did beat Anaheim too, didn't they?
They beat Anaheim and they just beat San Jose.
Oh yeah, that was
now
the
they
shootout.
now they got a bunch of home games in the next couple weeks.
They haven't been too good at home though.
Yeah. No.
Oh
but-
well, actually, they're 6-5 at home. Yeah, that's. I mean, okay.
On Wednesday, for those of you going to the game, they're giving out Zamboni-shaped gravy boats.
Oh, they're the one of the teams doing that. Yeah, the Red Wings are doing that too. I think the Canes were doing that as well. Yeah, I'd love to get one of those. I won't. Well, actually, I will be in. No, I won't be there tomorrow. I'll be there Wednesday. Oh well.
Wednesday's the game.
Oh.
If you really want a gravy boat,
Yeah, I
it's
feel like.
Sabres flavored.
Oh, that's good. I don't really know what that tastes like though. Metallic. Buffalo meat.
Yeah.
I'd try that.
Sandroni, what % would you give the Sabres to make the playoff?
Pretty low.
There it is. You're like, all right, the delusions are gone now.
Oh wait, you asked me a question.
They're 548 save percentage
Yeah.
plus, or save percentage, points percentage, plus 4 goal differential. So it doesn't scream playoff team immediately,
But they're in
but
the spot.
they're
No,
there.
well, who's gonna replace them?
Boston.
Boston,
Tampa.
Tampa,
Undefeated with the new coach.
but like, yeah.
Yeah, Joe Sacco 2-0. We'll get to that. We got time today. We don't have a ton, so. Yeah, I wanted to say Ottawa, but man, I don't know what's going on with them. Why are they
Another
so
Ottawa November.
like? Yeah, I actually believed in them this year. Like, I don't know what
You
I was
fool.
thinking. Yeah,
You
I don't know
It's like-
what the
it's
heck
like
was
never
going
bet
on.
against Tampa until they don't make the playoffs. It's the same as like never bet on Ottawa or Buffalo.
Yeah.
No matter how hot they start.
Well, I bet on Buffalo last year they didn't do it, and then if they make it this year when I didn't say it, oh, I will be. Oh, I'll blame Owen with all his propaganda. I'll
I
blame
didn't
him.
say it either. They seemed worse to start the year.
I thought they were worse. I mean, they're 7-3-0 in their last 10, and they're on a 3-game win streak, like you mentioned. So that's
it
good.
seems like every year they get a little younger.
They are.
I don't
very
know
young.
how that's possible.
It's like we're going in the wrong direction here, guys. We need to bring some solid veterans in and like round out this core. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, how many games have you been watching? Like a decent bit. Do you kind of get a good feel for how the team's constructed?
I mean, not a ton, but a little bit here and there. I get a feel for it. They're just young and Lindy's running them. So.
Yeah, he had some pretty tough practices at the beginning of the season. I remember. Well, we're like a quarter of the way through now. But
Yeah.
So the percent chance that Money Puck gives Buffalo is 31.2%, with Ottawa being 32.7%.
Oh my God.
But on the bright side, Buffalo has a 2.5% chance to win the draft lottery.
hey, there you go.
I don't want that.
Oh. Like, I'm done with the freaking lotteries. I don't want to cheer for them anymore. I want to cheer for my team in the freaking postseason for once.
Yeah.
Do we know who the big prospect is this year? Is there like a number one, like a...
Wasn't it that guy James Hagan?
Oh, right. Yeah, what'd we say for the rhyme?
Oh,
Oh, Bagan for Hagen.
Bagan for Hagan. Yeah. They should shop
We'll
that a little
workshop
bit.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a rough draft. But
Send in your...
I don't know if he's locked
your
in.
rhymes.
Yeah, just maybe take a look at some of the other, second, third, fourth overall guys just to really make sure.
Well, this article from TSN, published today. Would you look at that? Has him second and Porter Martone first. Right winger.
Porter
6'2" and
Montone.
3/4.
Now, does that sound like a first overall guy or a second overall guy? To me,
Like Michael Misa. That's the first round.
Oh,
Or that's the first
Misa.
one. Matthew Schaefer. That's a hockey name.
Yeah, that's a hockey name.
Anton Frondel. Now we're talking.
That's a second or third to me, I think. I think Frondel is like a third.
Roger McQueen.
Oh, I could, yeah.
6'5" center. That screams Boston right there.
Another Mick. Another Mick going first overall. I could see it. I mean, I don't really know anything about him, but just based on the name alone,
Yeah.
Name's half the player.
it really, you got to market this guy. Like, yeah, if I'm sorry, like your last name's Dingle, like I can't do it. I can't
No,
pick you first
It-
overall.
Joshua
it's not a Hall of
Ravensburgen.
Fame name.
No,
Dingle.
there's nothing I can do. We can't put that on jerseys. We can't advertise that. Yeah.
They'll have to be blurred out on cable.
That could cause some problems. Let's keep looking at the current standings to get a gauge of what we're looking at as far as our 75% goes. So Devils, Hurricanes, Caps are the 1, 2, 3 in the Met. I expect at this point all three of those teams to be pretty much there. Maybe there's a question mark about the Caps without Ovi for an extended period of time, but I'm not sure yet. And then wild card race, we've got the Rangers and the Bruins, although I think Tampa with their points percentage would be in ahead of Boston.
Yeah, because Boston got 3 more games played than the Rangers and Tampa.
So, Boston kind of in there right now. The Islanders would be next in line, and then surprisingly the Blue Jackets. So,
I mean, I think I don't know. I
think Islanders is the
Rangers-
cutoff.
Rangers, Lightning, and Bruins. I don't even know about the Islanders at this point. I mean, hey, overtime points, the whole thing.
I mean, they're freaking 8, 8, and 5. Like their whole look at their whole records. Home record 3, 3, and 2. Okay, mid, and you've lost more games than you won. Away record 5, 5, and 3. Mid, and you've lost more games than you've won. 2 and 1 in the shootout. Last 10, 4, 3, and 3, and they've won their last 1 game. Like, that is just like a middling, no real like peaks or valleys. Kind of just like, yeah, we win every other game, and maybe we go to the overtime period every once in a while.
Honestly, I think the East is between the Bruins and the Sabres for that last spot.
Which that's crazy. I'm not. I don't know if I can really.
I'm not going
there.
to pick sides or anything, but there's a clear team that's going to be in the playoffs.
Our cities have been fighting for years. We're battle hardened over here.
Yeah, it would be a big win for the city of Buffalo if the Sabres were able to pull this out. But, I mean, I could totally see Tampa in the 3rd spot and then Bruins in one of the wild cards, and that's kind of it. Like, I don't know. I feel like I need a little bit more time with Buffalo to really... Because they have not, like, blown me away until, pretty recently with this late win streak. Other than that, it's like, I don't know. 2 bottom
Before that,
feeders
they couldn't put together any sort of win streak. It was like, they had a great win, and then they lose the next game.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I think how they deal with this next stretch, like the next 2 weeks, will be a really big litmus test for them. Like, can they actually carry some momentum with like a successful road trip into winning, your next 3 out of 4 at home or something like that? Maybe you go, 2, 1, and 1. Then it's like, okay, I can see how they have enough momentum building here where they can probably coast into the playoff. Not like coast, but like they could do well enough to make it in. But if, over the next 2 weeks, it's like, they're, 1, 1, and 2, or 1, 2, and 1, or something like that, and they just can't find their game again. It's like, yeah, this is Buffalo. This is like what always kind of happens in November and December. So it'll be, lots of eyes on them, the next couple of weeks, at least for me. Even though we're kind of using the whole Thanksgiving benchmark, we're not quite there yet. We got a couple more days until the official day, but
Yeah.
the week of.
I think the West is a little more interesting, but there's really, again, going by points percentage, Edmonton is the team that's outside of the playoff right now. So I'm like, well, they're going to be in.
Just the one.
Yeah, but I'm like, who isn't going to be in? 'Cause I think Colorado is going to be okay. I mean, they've been doing okay, and they have all
They
these
have
injuries.
the same last 10 and win streak as Buffalo, 7-3, and they've won their last 3 games. Exactly the same.
So I think they'll be fine. So I think it's either Calgary or LA that gets kicked out. But like Calgary's banked so many points, but like I don't know if they can keep playing how they've been playing.
They're on a 4-game win streak. What the hell? Like, I think a lot of Flames
And
fans
they
are just
started
like,
so hot.
okay. It's crazy. Yeah, Vancouver has struggled a bit. Seattle, I believed in them at the beginning of the season, and I don't believe in them anymore. I don't think. Like, I would kind of say the Ducks could honestly push more than the Kraken or Utah at this point. We'll see what happens with the Blues, and I feel like the Preds are pretty much done. So they need a big shift in order to make a strong push. So yeah, there's a couple spots that are open. I think the top 3 in the Central are all pretty established. Winnipeg, Minnesota, Dallas. Like, at this point with Minnesota, I'm fine, just believing that they're gonna win. They're 750 save percentage. Jesus, points percentage, which that's damn good. So they're all probably for real.
Looking, Calgary's PDO is 101, so it's like basically right around average.
That's
So, like,
that's crazy.
Washington's is first, 105. Makes sense.
So nobody
But
really peaking like Vancouver last year.
like they were like 110 or
Yeah.
something.
Everything was
But
going
like,
their way.
I don't know, all the analysts are like, well, Washington's underlying numbers are great. I'm like, okay, if you say so. I don't know what those numbers are, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
I just look at PDO and I'm like, this team's just getting lucky.
Yeah, I don't know anything more advanced than that.
Like shot percentage, save percentage. Add the 2.
I've heard of
Done.
those.
The Sens are second to last with a 96 PDO.
That's so Senators.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that, like, Olmark has an 88 or something save percentage. Oh, that meme was so good. That one meme of the week.
That was very good. The SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs floating in
now
the
we can
clouds.
show it on the pod.
Yeah, we'll throw it on there. That's a good one. But yeah, he has not been. Allmark has not been good. What's the Sabres PDO? Just curious.
Well, also, the Flames do have the best team save percentage at 943.
What?
Which means if their PDO is that low, their shooting percentage is
943. And like Calgary was one of the biggest question marks at goaltender, like going into the season. Like, these guys are both pretty untested at the NHL level. That is crazy. Like, Vladar's never been a starter. Wolf has never been a starter. Wow.
yeah. So they're shooting
not expect
7%.
7?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not very high.
No, that's why their PDO is pretty low. But because they're like their save percentage is crazy, but their shooting percentage is terrible.
So
The
honestly,
Caps are shooting 14%. That's why they're in.
yeah,
first.
wow.
Vegas is in third at 11%.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But who were you asking about?
Buffalo.
PDO.
Yeah.
They are somewhere in the middle, I think. Here they are, like 10th ish, 101, 91 save percentage, 10% shooting.
I'll take the middle.
It's an average team.
Yeah, I mean that's above average. Like, you could ride that a little ways.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Vegas finally scores.
Nashville's shooting 5%.
Oh, 5? I
Like
bet
you would think, like
the Flyers
that's
have to
gotta
be real
go.
low, too.
The Flyers are
Although they're up 3-1 on Vegas right now. So
shooting
what the hell do I know?
8%, but they're getting 89%, or they're getting 887 save.
Yeah. Oh, 887.
Yeah.
That's not good enough.
Well, I guess I'll look at Boston while we're here.
Sure.
7.7% shooting, 9.925 save percentage. Thanks, Corpusalo. 1.001 PDO.
So, yeah, you guys are pretty much right where you're supposed to be.
And Chicago is 0.999. So the two right in the middle.
Wow.
Chicago's getting 926 save percentage.
Yeah, yeah,
That's very how
Soderblom
close
and
their
Mrazek
stats
have been
are
good.
to Boston. I don't like how close I am, or we are to
Yeah,
Chicago.
that's scary. The Blackhawks have not been scoring well at all. So, that's probably not going to change for them. But we'll see with Boston. How Sacco does, I guess, if they really can muster up some good old Bruins magic. One more run.
2-0. We're playing some old school Bruins hockey. A 1-0 win and a 2-1 win.
Yeah, there you go. As long as you win those games.
Big game tomorrow. I think it's at home. Yeah, Vancouver comes to Boston. Jake DeBrusk, Derek Forbort, if he's even in the lineup.
Yeah.
Danton
Danton
Heinen.
Heinen. Lots of former Bruins returning to the
And
Garden.
obviously we have Lindholm and
Yeah. Also Lindholm. That's a big one.
Well, yeah.
Well, he's not. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Well, wasn't he?
He was briefly with them last
And
season.
Zadorov, just for the 1 year, right?
Yeah.
They're both
Dealt from the same team in the same season. And then both signed with the same team in the offseason. So they really liked playing with each other.
Wait, so they were both in Calgary?
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. So they make their return, or I guess Vancouver comes to visit them.
Yeah, it's not really the same situation, but whatever.
Yeah. I wonder, do you think DeBrusk gets a? Well, DeBrusk will probably get a commercial break, little video.
Oh yeah.
Forbort probably not.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's other ones here, but we only made the one.
Heinen's kind of a weird one because he was on the team for a while and then left, and then we signed him for 1 year.
I think they do Heinen, but it's like, oh,
they do Heinen and DeBrusk, like Forbort,
Like, yeah, okay, we got to draw the limit somewhere, all right?
I mean, Forbort wasn't on Boston for that long.
Like a season and a half, kinda.
2.5.
Oh, yeah, 2.
I
don't
think
know
how long Heinen was there for a bit.
What do you think, Sandroni? How many seasons does a player have to have played for your organization in order to get a shout-out message when they return to your building for the first time?
I don't know. My grandmother remembers every single Yankee that there ever was. And she could tell them on the other teams. So it doesn't take much.
Well, I guess if you were there at all, you made an impression on somebody. So everybody that ever played for a team has to get one. I think that sounds
Heinen
good.
played 4 full seasons for the Bruins.
4, yeah. 4 is enough. DeBrusk has been there for a while.
4 is enough.
Yeah, and then DeBrusk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them, they leave on bad terms, and then they don't get ovations. They get the wrong kind of ovation.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be interesting because there were a lot of DeBrusk haters just in general, and then he requested a trade, and then Bruce Cassidy left, so then DeBrusk stayed, and so it'll be interesting. I don't think
he would get booed.
I don't think anyone will boo. I think it's more of the same as the Tuukka Rask haters that are just on Facebook pages and not actual.
They don't really say anything.
Fans that are gonna go to the game.
They're just bots.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, who created you in what factory? You know, like, oh my gosh, you are not a real person with a real thoughts. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's some real people in those groups, but probably not a ton.
No one hates Jake DeBrusk.
No, he's awesome. You know who I don't hate? Brett Howden returning to Vegas on a 5-year deal, $2.5 million per. So that's a big extension for him. He's having a good season though.
Second Vegas extension in like a week, right?
They are dishing him out like candy.
They're
They
like, oh, I heard the cap's going up.
they're like, well, I guess we'll start paying these guys now.
They're like, who we gotta put on LTIR this time?
Yeah, who will it be? Roll the roulette ball. No. So I'm happy with this. I think he's been more than advertised, and I think he was probably worth about that last season anyways. Like, maybe that would be a little steep for what he was bringing last year, but as of right now, he's like been pretty strong. He's still relatively young. I actually don't remember how
26.
old he is. 26. Like, yeah, a 5-year deal for a 26-year-old, and you're paying him $2.5 million per, which is going to be like 3 or 4% of the cap. I think, like, what he's been providing you, if he can sustain that, or maybe drop off like even a little bit, because his shooting percentage has been pretty good. I think he'll be, pretty valuable at that contract. So I like it.
He's shooting 22% this year.
Yeah, that's a little high.
I'm gonna get the bag while I'm overperforming.
Shoot and score every 5 shots. I think that's
eight goals in 21 games this year.
yeah. That's so, like, does he end with maybe 20 goals? I'd say probably around there. I don't think he'll like have a 30 goal season or anything.
His first year in Vegas, he played 47 games and shot 23%, so maybe it's sustainable.
Great. Let's get him playing a full season then, and
get him more shots.
Get a cheap 40
Yeah,
goal scorer.
tell him to shoot more. Well, it's kind of like Trent Frederick. He never shoots, but when he does, I feel like he only shoots when he's right in front of the net, and like he probably has a high shooting percentage too. But like if you're picking your shots,
Yeah, I'm trying to think about some of the goals he scored. Like, he's had a couple like breakaways and a couple where like 2-on-1s where he was able to get the pass and capitalize. So he's been in good situations too on some of these. I can't say I remember all 8 goals that he scored, but I think he's been good. Let's see if he scores right now. Wait, was that him? No, it wasn't. Barbashev scored 3-2 Flyers. So we're starting to come back. I wish we wouldn't keep putting ourselves in these situations, but we're doing okay.
So I picked up Trent Frederick the last 2 seasons, 161 games, 14.4% shooting.
That's I mean, that's good.
That's superstar numbers. Except he only shot the puck like over those games. Shot the puck 143 times. That's less than a shot a game.
Yeah. Well, still good. Oh! I thought we just scored for a second there. Damn. Sorry. You guys will know what the score of this game was by the time this is out, but I don't. So I'm having fun with it. We've got a couple, some injury updates / news. So Jordan Eberle has to have, or I think he already had the pelvic surgery. I don't know exactly what the injury was, but he already underwent successful surgery. He'll be out for about 3 months. So that's tough for a team fighting for a playoff spot, like losing your brand new captain and a pretty strong point getter for the team. That's never going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know what this entails. Like, is a pelvis injury something where it's hard to come back with? Like, I don't know if it's like a back thing or a hip thing, like similar to one of those where it's like, those can be tough to shake even after a surgery.
Know.
Hopefully
I guess
not.
the out 3 months, I would assume, considers like rehab and everything. So that would be put him in February, so still time for them to make their playoff run.
Yes, that's true. So that's, unfortunate update, but in some positive news, Dean puts in here that Line has began practicing in a regular practice jersey instead of the non-contact jersey. So that, I feel like compared to the timeline we were expecting when he got injured, this seems pretty quick. I don't know. Maybe it was just like it looked a little worse than it was.
Yeah. Well, also, I mean, it was basically the start of the season, so that would be like that's probably 6 weeks, right?
He,
Or
yeah, it was like October 8th was the first day of the North American season, so
yeah,
yeah, it's about 7
like 6 or
weeks,
7. Yeah.
maybe 6. Michkov scored 4-2
It
Flyers.
felt like forever for Line.
Oh, I'm sure I mean, yeah, because he hasn't played in forever. He played, how many games has he played this year? Like 2? 1?
I was trying to think if it was even a preseason game or not. Was it
Oh,
preseason?
I don't know if it was preseason. I can't remember. I'll do a quick stat check here.
But yeah, rooting for Line, just not the Habs.
6 games played this season.
You should not looking at. Well, that's the 23-24 season, 6 goals,
Oh,
18
yeah,
games
no, you're
played.
right. No games played.
I think it was preseason.
So, yeah, it was. So, yeah, very long time for him to make his Canadiens debut in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
That will
And
be.
been through so much, is like just hoping he can find his game and play really well, but except not well enough to have the Habs make the playoffs.
Yeah, for a long time, right?
Yeah, well, they can trade him.
Sandroni can agree with you on that one, just for
Yeah.
Buffalo's sake.
Yeah.
Well, it's not going to be us in this. It's going to be the.
Maybe Line
Yeah,
would look great in the Buffalo
he's
jersey.
fine. He's like, I don't need to worry
We're
about it.
we're third.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're locked into a playoff spot.
Locked in.
It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We could be out by Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they're playing tonight, aren't they?
No, they don't play till Wednesday.
Oh,
But,
okay, yeah. Well,
yeah, they play Minnesota.
yeah, so some other teams can catch up. Holy crap, the Lightning are up 6-1 on the Avs right now.
Oh, maybe the Avs won't be in the playoff spot.
I think they've been really resilient over this last period where they still have guys out. I mean, they're starting to get some of their key guys back, but yeah, they were able to weather the storm for the most part. At times it looked pretty rough, but they're doing all right now. Dean also shared a story that's just breaking over the last couple hours. It sounds like Paul Bissonnette was injured in Scottsdale. He was assaulted at a restaurant in the area, and he was taken to the hospital. So, jeez, that's crazy.
And apparently he tried to help management like calm these 3 men, and then got assaulted like inside and outside the restaurant. It says all 3 men were arrested, booked on assault. And then also a total of 6 people were arrested related to the incident.
Oh, so he was getting involved with with just trying to settle down a situation, and then they just like ganged up on him. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And the scariest part is that like the police department said it's believed to be non-life threatening. So
Oh God.
he's known to have some outlandish takes, but no matter if you love him or hate him, just wishing all the best, obviously, for him.
Yeah.
You dropped the gloves.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if it was a 1-1, I'm sure he would have been just fine. But
Yeah, they don't allow 3-on-1s or 6-on-1s or whatever it was. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
That's horrible. So wishing the best for Biz, and full recovery from whatever injuries, and yeah, just not a good story. But felt like it was important we quickly cover it, because we only have one other item here on our list, and that's that the PWHL kicks off the second season in 5 days. They've got a doubleheader on Saturday with Boston at Toronto and Ottawa at Montreal, which I guess I can use their nicknames now. But
There you go.
very excited to have their season underway. And then my team, Sirens, will be kicking off on Sunday against Minnesota at 5 p.m. Well,
Also, I did look up
6 p.m.
tickets
my time.
for when they come to Denver, and the cheapest ones were a very reasonable $35. That's like counting all the fees and everything.
Great.
But those all sold out pretty quick. So now the cheapest are 45. Still not bad. But I mean, they're better seats. Like everyone got like the cheap seats first. But it looked like I didn't even see tickets for sale in like the upper bowl. It looked like they're only selling like the hundreds and 200 section. I don't know if that's just the venue, like I guess the arena, or what. But maybe they just don't plan on selling out 20,000, which makes sense.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the other takeovers that they did last year were pretty successful. Like, I mean, they filled
Well,
up
the
the
big
Bell
ones like
Center multiple
was like
times.
Montreal playing in Bell Center, but this is like Minnesota, like non-Colorado teams playing in Colorado.
I guess
So
that's true. Yeah. Like, yeah, I don't know how much like the Pittsburgh and Detroit ones, like how well they did last year. I feel like they probably
I
did okay.
can pull up this Ticketmaster thing again.
But yeah, I mean, I would lock those in pretty soon. Well, I guess, I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think it'll sell out. But yeah, it looks like nothing, no seats available in the 300s. So I'm like, I don't think they all sold already.
I
Like,
don't
just
think every
literally
single seat in
none.
that whole
Yeah. And it's only a
floor.
few in the, well, again, there's only a few in the 200 section, but I think those probably got bought up again because they were cheaper. Like the lower bowl is still seats in every section.
Oh, okay. Sandroni, when you first came on today, I thought that your sweater had the PWHL logo on it because it actually looks very similar to the W. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. They haven't even made it to Buffalo yet. They will be coming this year.
I'm really into it. I've been waving a flag, trying to get them to pay attention to Buffalo.
They're coming. They're coming this year.
Are they?
Yeah, they're coming to Buffalo for a game just like what Dean was talking about with Denver. I don't remember what day that game is. I'd have to
just
look.
Like a destination game.
Yeah, they're just like checking out other markets, and because they did that in a couple games last year.
Right,
they're
KeyBank.
So they are coming to KeyBank Center February 23rd, which is gonna be the Fleet at the Sirens. So Boston versus New York in New York. That's a good one. I don't know what. Oh, it's a Sunday, so that's also good. I could see that doing
all
pretty well.
On weekends.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Takeovers or whatever.
Tickets already went on sale. They went on sale on Friday, so.
If there's any 300 section tickets.
Oh yeah, I should see.
The fans want to know.
Let me do some sleuthing here, as in clicking the button that says buy tickets. I got my detective work on the case. 300 section is grayed out.
Yeah.
So
that's
there you
interesting.
go. About $30 for tickets, and these are lower bowl. So.
Good.
Yeah.
Could see about.
I wonder if season ticket holders will get options.
They had
do anything like that.
Pre-sale options. I saw for like when I was looking at the tickets for Denver. It was, again, Minnesota and I forget the other team, but like there was Minnesota pre-sale, like Minnesota season ticket pre-sale, the other team's season ticket pre-sale, and like whatever else. So if you had season tickets or like partial season tickets, you just had the option to buy these earlier than the general public.
Do you think the Denver Nuggets season ticket holders would get it because they play in the same arena?
I'm gonna say no.
Like they cross sports?
I wonder,
I
I
would
wonder if I
think
can still
probably not.
see.
Because they do, both the Avs and the Nuggets play in Ball Arena.
Probably can't see the pre-sale stuff anymore.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh well.
But yeah, this sounds kind of cool. I don't know if I'll be able to go on this day. I mean, I probably could. Just have to take off the Monday, but that would be cool. Let's see. Do we have any other? I mean, just looking at the standings, not a ton of other major surprises, but I want to see who's playing hot right now. Well, the Blue Jackets are actually on a 3-game win streak. Which, okay. We mentioned the Flames. Yeah, those are pretty much the only hot streaks right now. But we've got Leafs are 7-2-1. They're on a 4-game win streak. And Matthews still isn't back yet. So they're just like cruising right now.
Yeah, the
Too bad.
Toronto's like what 7-8 without Matthews or something.
Yeah, like
Is the problem?
that is a problem. Vegas scored again. All right. Not dead yet.
What's the score?
4-3 Philly. We haven't had a lead the whole game. We haven't tied the score up the whole game except for the very beginning, obviously. Oh, we almost just scored there. Oh.
Oh, did you hear that Datsuk signed a 1-day contract to retire as a Red Wing?
Oh, I did see that. Was he still playing in the KHL? I was trying to remember
No,
if he was
because
one of the names.
Couldn't have if he's in the Hall of Fame, but that's why Yager's not in.
Oh, yeah. So did they rescind his entry if you sign a contract after being already entered into the hall?
I also don't know what's the point. Like I thought that was if you were just on a different team and wanted to retire. Like was
It's
he
just
not
a
already
formal.
retired?
It's just like a formality, I guess. Maybe.
I mean, he was on the Red Wings. His last game played was with the Red Wings in 2016.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Maybe he signed with maybe he just signed in KHL afterwards, and
Or maybe he signed with an NHL team and didn't play.
that could be. Yeah.
Let's see.
2016 is not that long ago, and I'm surprised that I don't. Well, I mean, I just didn't
Next
follow the
decade.
league the same way. Like now, I know, all these signings and stuff, but I don't even know if I knew who Pavel Datsuk was in 2016. To be honest with you, I might have heard his name before.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like his last contract was with Detroit. Well, I guess it wouldn't say if he got traded. I don't know. I have no idea.
Either way, he signed back with them for 1 day. So that's fun for Red
there you
Wings
go.
fans.
Wings get rid of Pavel Datsuk's $7.5 million cap hit in Coyotes trade. Even back then, Coyotes were taking up cap.
There was
space.
like a part of me that was like thinking that he was somehow related to the Coyotes, and
no recollection of this.
that was the only team that I had in my mind that I was like, maybe he was there.
Traded to the Coyotes on Friday night. The Wings sent the number 16th overall pick to the Coyotes in exchange for the number 20 pick, plus a second rounder, as well as Joe Vitale.
Joe Vitale. I think I've heard that name.
And he retired. Datsuk retired. I think Vitale was when they got his orbital bone broken.
Ooh,
Yeah, in a fight.
that doesn't sound good.
I think he had to retire.
Wow.
Yeah.
This bone right here.
Oh,
Wait.
yeah.
I think that's right.
This is gonna be one of those things like how I know hockey stuff, where I'm just gonna say, "Yep, I believe you," even though I don't always know what I'm talking about. Oh, I had something else for a second there about the Datsuk thing.
Oh yeah, because it was Kevin Miller that did it to him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. He's a big fighter. Since retired now as well. Did you guys see Joe Thornton's retirement ceremony? His jersey retirement ceremony in San Jose the other night. Was that the Buffalo game, or was that before that?
It was against Dallas, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I
Did
think
you
it was
hear
a
about
couple days
the
ago.
story that I forget who was it? One of his teammates shared. Um, Doug Murray was the story he told
I didn't hear it.
about like Thornton had gotten a 2 bedroom apartment for this homeless mom and her kids, and he didn't like it was a secret, and he told Doug Murray like not to tell anyone, and this was like the first time Murray was basically telling this secret.
I did hear.
But
I
like
actually did hear about that. I just didn't hear the Doug Murray part.
Mm.
But
yeah, there's
that's
so many
pretty cool.
stories about like Thornton's generosity and like how much of a caring person he was. Well, I guess is. I mean, he's not dead.
Yeah, he still is, just not as a player with the San Jose Sharks organization. But yeah, no, he's great. I think, and he housing some rookies at his house in San Jose for a little while there too.
I think so. Yeah.
I think
I heard
Marlowe
another
was as
story
well.
about there was one night after a bad game that the Sharks had, like the coach or whatever said no one's going out tonight. Um, but Thornton had planned to like go out with some rookies or whatever, so he just gave the rookie like a bunch of cash and like have a good night out.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I'll take cash. If you're, I'm a rookie. This is my, well, I guess it's my
Not a
sophomore
rookie
season.
anymore.
Yeah, it's my sophomore season now. Since
Oh, we
I
also didn't
played the
talk
full year
about
last year.
Sidney Crosby and Kyle Connor dropping the gloves.
Oh yeah, that was a. You don't see those two guys fight too often. Both
It was Connor's
superstars.
first fight, I think.
That
Crosby does
adds
not
up.
have too many.
I wouldn't think he would have too many. Yeah. It was kind of a quick one though.
Oh yeah.
But whatever. Still fun to see superstars scrap it a little bit. Like, holy crap, why is this guy fighting? I have to watch it though. So that's what we got. I guess actually we can do another hat trick past the cup update as we've been doing. I think the margins have slimmed a little bit as I am now within one hat trick of Gifford. He's still leading the way with 10. I have 9, of course. Zach with 8, Dean with 6, and Owen with 4. So
May not last, but tough year so far.
it has been a
And I
tough
lost
year
the cup too.
because Colorado lost, right? Or I
Um,
mean Washington lost.
Washington lost to Colorado.
Yeah.
But then Colorado beat Florida too, because if Florida had gone, they were going to play 2 of my teams coming up. So I was rooting for that. But, oh well.
But they're
I mean,
definitely gonna lose it tonight,
second,
I think.
second on that.
And I have the Lightning, so then I'll get it.
There you go.
But Owen leading the way there with 8 points. And he definitely has an interesting team. Because
Ottawa has gotten him a point.
Colorado
Ottawa and
gets him the points.
Pittsburgh's got him 2, and Montreal's got him 1. That's why you never know with this game.
Yeah, I have not even considered taking one of these waiver claims though. I don't think there's been a scenario where it has
No,
made
I've
sense
been
so far.
looking. Meanwhile, like Tampa doesn't have
Anaheim and
any.
San Jose.
Dallas doesn't have any. Vegas doesn't have any cup points. Edmonton doesn't have any.
A little weird.
Boston, Rangers, like all these teams.
A lot of luck. A lot of luck involved. Well,
Nice short episode this week.
yeah, I mean, sometimes, especially with a quick turnaround, like, we don't always have a ton going on. And I'm sure
What time
Sandroni's
of the year
only...
too, where there's not a ton of news.
Yeah, I was surprised we got that trade today. That really saved our episode there.
Like I said, give us like 10 minutes.
Yeah, thanks.
We milked it.
Nashville / Pittsburgh, Dubison.
I guess and the coach hiring.
What's his name? Trotz. Oh yeah, and Montgomery too. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know if we expected him to be signed by today, but I feel like we definitely thought it wasn't gonna take very long for somebody to fire their current coach and grab him.
Mm-hmm.
So, too bad for Dean, but maybe
I'll
good
get
for
over it.
Justin. I don't know. We'll see. Are they playing right now?
Oh yeah, what time is their game?
I think they're playing. Oh yeah, they're tied up 2-2 in the second intermission right now. So they could win that game. Get the coach, the new coach hiring blessing, which seems to happen all the time.
Is he already there? Like
He's there. He's there.
oh,
He's
okay.
coaching.
He was doing media today. He had he was wearing a Blues jersey that he had in his
You
closet.
get out there.
Yeah.
Doesn't know anyone's name yet.
Like 55, go. Yeah, I don't know. That's why you got
You look
numbers.
like you can skate.
Hope so. It's like, do we have any good players here, or what? Like, how hopeless is this situation? Guess we'll see how they go the next little stretch here. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today. A little bit of a shorter one, but we hope you appreciated it nonetheless.
Mm-hmm. Happy
And
Thanksgiving.
gobble gobble.
If you celebrate that this time of year.
Yeah, for our
If you're not
Canadian
Canadian.
viewers, are like, dude, we had that a month ago.
Happy Thursday.
Yeah, just a regular day. Probably.
Hope it's a good one.
Yeah, have a happy regular day.
Yeah.
And spread some thanks, spread some love, and we'll see you next time on the Bread Loves Hockey podcast.
Yeah.
See ya. It's the Bread Gets Drunk and Watches Hockey podcast.
Oh, why haven't
We should have a
why haven't we
drunk.
done that yet?
Yeah, we should have a drunk episode. Zach can
Middle of
talk
the
about it.
week.
We didn't have Zach on
Ugh.
for that one. He
Yes.
said you guys need to have like 8 beers before you start recording.
Oh god. Might be a quick episode.